Welcome, sports bettors from around the world.
Good morning. It's Saturday morning, Philly, and we're back.
Yeah, man. Good morning to you. Happy Saturday. What is it? 23rd, 22nd?
Yep, 23rd, and it's Sports Gambling Daily. Hey,
Yes,
and
sir.
I mean, hey guys, we want to first say thank you everybody that tunes into us, and hits that like button, hits that subscribe button. We got a lot of new faces here, and pretty much what we try to do here is go over every game on the board. And there's 10 games today, Philly.
Yeah, there certainly is. I was thinking it'd be a smaller slate, but nope, they give us 10 right away again.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
yeah, they gave us 10 yesterday. They gave us 10 today. Hey, I mean, I love basketball, so let's jump right on into this thing.
I'm certainly ready. Where do you want to start?
Well, I want to start off by saying, boom. That's right, boom. Yesterday we went 2-1 on our premium selections. Again, we hit our big play. I have to go back. I think we're like 10-3 in our big plays, like a 10-3 run. Is that correct? Maybe 11-3. I have to go back and look at that.
That sounds right. It's been pretty awesome so far. The big unit plays have been hitting. Miami -4.5 last night, which was at first, and no doubt about it, it got a little sweaty at the end. I think Miami pulled out some of their players because they were going on a back-to-back tonight in Philadelphia, and got a little close. And then Spoelstra put them back in, and they finished it off. But nice win nonetheless. Doesn't matter if you cover by 1 or 30; it's the same shit, right?
Yeah, you're right, but it was nice because it was kind of a no sweat thing. Like they got out to a 15-0 lead and to start the game. And you remember I sent you a text. I was like, I think we might get a shutout today. Obviously, I wasn't being serious, but it's nice to start a game out 15-0. And then we also had the 76ers last night over the San Antonio Spurs, which is just a really bad team this year. So we felt really good about those. Now we did have one loss. That was the Utah State first half. They got throttled the first half by LSU, but then they come back and win the game. They were losing at halftime by 14 points.
Yep.
And they come back and win the game. So we were on the right team. We're just, it took them the whole game instead of just the half.
Yeah. They decided to sleepwalk through the first half.
And as far as our contest, nobody hit yesterday. It was a low-scoring game for the Boston versus Denver Nuggets game. So, hey, we're still trying to find a winner. We got another game we're going to get into. And when we get to that game, we'll announce what the contest is. All right, sgdwins.com is how you get our premium selections. We have NCAA football today. We got NCAA basketball, and we probably will have some NHL, and then obviously we'll have some NBA in there. I already know.
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's early, guys. It's 6:40 a.m. Central Time, 7:40 on the East Coast. So these are our initial leans, but this just shows you how early Philly and I get up, even on the weekend, to start breaking this card down for you guys.
Yeah, I truly believe that seeing the early lines, even last night into this morning, and kind of seeing how they fluctuate is huge, because then you kind of know, sort of if you're at least looking on the right side early. But you just get out in front of it a little bit, and I know if it helps these guys that everybody that watches us, then more power to it, and we'll continue to do it.
Hell yeah! All right, so we got Phoenix taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves are laying 6 at home. Phoenix is not in a full-blown regression, Philly, but they are regressing.
Yes.
But
true.
You're giving me 6 points against Minnesota. I think I might lean Phoenix here. You got Phoenix is 3-1 against the spread on the road, where Minnesota is just 2-5 at home against the spread. What do you think, man?
At first, I don't disagree. My only pause with that, honestly, is because it sounds like Rubio's doubtful again. Aaron Baines is out again. They've been struggling without the two of them. Now on the other side, though, Robert Covington is out, and he's a 3-point shooter for them. He's a really nice defensive player. With that being said, though, Karl-Anthony Towns is playing at a pretty elite level. He's shooting threes 2 feet behind the line. All of a sudden he's Steph Curry, and then he's playing well down low. I hear you. I certainly could see it going either way, but without Rubio, without Aaron Baines, I actually might go Minnesota in this situation.
Yeah, you're right. Without Rubio and Baines, they kind of turn into the Suns of the last 2-3 years, right? Where you got Devin Booker having to facilitate everything.
It's the same thing. I think I've said to you a couple times. I believe that Rubio is the reason there's been a turnaround because he's like a true point guard that kind of gets people in the right sets. And now you're right. Now they're back to the Devin Booker show. So
right, which is not a bad show. He just can't do it all by himself. Even with Kelly Oubre over there, which has done really well. Just it's just not enough, I guess. So yeah, you're right. I'm going to change my initial lean over to Minnesota. Wiggins, he's more likely he'll be fine. He had the illness there for a while.
It's not showing that he's out, and honestly, he looks like he's turned a corner. That guy was a little underperforming in his first few years in the league, and finally, taken off to what he was supposed to be.
Talking about Baby Jordan?
Is that what that's right? They called him Canadian Baby Jordan.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Chicago versus the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Charlotte Hornets played the Wizards pretty close yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Now, they end up falling. I think they end up losing by 7 points. And then Chicago, well, we already touched on them. They were getting blown out, and then they came back. Today, we got Charlotte plus 1.5 at home versus the Bulls both of these teams are on a back-to-back.
Yep.
Let's see here. Against the spread, Chicago was 3-4 on the road. Now, Chicago was at home yesterday, so they traveled to Charlotte. And now, that's right? Yeah, Philly was. Yeah. And then the Hornets were 3-4 at home against the spread. What do you think, man? You think Chicago can come in here and cover this 1.5?
Well, yeah, like you said, back-to-back situation. I know it didn't look good, but if you look at the Chicago game yesterday, it was really a tale of two halves. Miami got out to a humongous lead. Mm-hmm. I think they won that quarter by like 15 or 16. They won the second quarter by, we'll call it 5 or 6. And then Chicago won the second half. So, they came on late. And we've talked about Charlotte before. Charlotte's one of those teams where if they're hitting their threes, they're a tough team to beat.
Right.
Well, with that being said, I mean, I like them better on the defensive end, and I might lean Charlotte tonight at home. It's a tough game. It's a toss-up. I mean, you could argue it both ways right now. I'm showing Otto Porter's out for the Chicago. It looks like no injuries showing up for Charlotte right now. They're the healthier team. Mm-hmm. They're both 7-9 against the spread. The other one's 7-8-1. They got similar records in that fashion. Although the over has hit 9 out of Charlotte's last 10 games against Chicago, so maybe that's something to possibly look at.
Yeah, and the last time they played, it was 126 to 125, and the Hornets won that game. I mean, it's a high scoring game. And what's the line for the over under here? It's 218. So 218.5. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a consideration as well. I mean, Charlotte, they've made an effort to try to score more. So,
yes.
And to that point, Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, Malik Monk, they all scored 19 points apiece yesterday versus the Wizards. Now, take that with a grain of salt. The Wizards do not play a lick of defense. So, those numbers are probably just a tad bit inflated. But I'm going to take Charlotte at home plus 1.5, plus 2, whatever you can find there as an initial lean.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, actually. Yep.
All right, Orlando taking on the Pacers. Over under is off the board at the moment, unless you have it. And then Indianapolis is laying 8 at home.
Yeah, I don't see a total. I absolutely see the 8, like you're saying, though. Yep.
I don't think they can find a total low enough here because the Pacers, like last year, at the beginning of the season, the Pacers were trying to score a little bit, and now they're kind of back to their old ways where they're not putting any buckets in the basket. But I think, man, -8. That just seems to be a little too much.
Well, here's why I'll disagree with that, and that is because Vucevic is out for Orlando. Uh-huh. Michael Carter-Williams is out. Aaron Gordon's it looks like he's out as well. So
that's
you're taking Vucevic and Gordon out of that lineup. Now the other side, Jeremy Lamb is upgraded to probable. Obviously Oladipo's out; he's been out forever. T.J. McConnell, who's their backup point guard, ex-Sixer, he's probable. Early on, I actually leave Indiana. Orlando doesn't score, and they got their 2 best scorers out. I mean, 8 might not be enough, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, but you got Jonathan Isaac in there, man, blocking everything left and right. So,
sure.
I mean, but it's not enough. I mean, if you're coming to this game with just Isaac and that's pretty much it, then, you go ahead and wrap it up. That being said, give me the Pacers. But, man, initially I think that it's just too much. I'm going to definitely look back into this game a little more.
Oh, I hear you. The line seems like that, but I know you say it kind of jokingly. I'm just like, where's the scoring coming from? I mean, yeah, Isaac, okay, great. But Unless you got what's his face coming off the bench. I'm Terrence Williams. Terrence, I forget his name. Terrence, you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his damn name all of a sudden.
The
three-point shooter.
The thing is, it's just Indianapolis, man. You say where's the scoring going to come from Orlando, but where is it going to come from Indianapolis, man? Those guys don't score either. So
yeah, you're right. Maybe it's one of those situations where it's just an ugly back and forth crap fest, and you stick by. Not a game really on my radar at the moment.
All right, let's move on to Toronto taking on the Atlanta Hawks. We got Toronto on the road laying 7 versus the Hawks, which is, just been pretty bad lately, man. I think that this line here is probably not enough points for Atlanta initially while I'm looking at it. I think Toronto probably comes in here and just takes care of business, no problem.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. I was just looking to see if there was anything like eye-popping with the injuries. Lowry's out, but that's been the same thing. Collins is out, suspended on the other side. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Toronto's still a pretty tough team. They still have some grit, and they are the ex-champs. I realize Kawhi's not there, but they got guys that have, Van Fleet and, Gasol, and I don't know. I kind of like how they've been playing. They're pretty gritty. I know I can't forget about Siakam. I mean, that dude's taken it to a whole nother level this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And Van Fleet, those guys. But the Raptors have won 7 in a row versus Atlanta. They've struggled, or they've swept the last 2 seasons. I don't really see this being any different because Atlanta, the beginning of the season started off really hot, similar to the Suns, and they've fallen back to who they really are. So they've also had some injuries and some.
It's true.
Suspensions and nonetheless that kind of stuff.
The last 3 times I remember seeing a line like this with Atlanta, at least the last 2 or 3, I want to say, they've gotten killed at this line, which I don't know if that necessarily means anything, but yeah, I mean, I hear you. They started out kind of nice, and you're like, oh, this is going to be like a feel-good story for the year, and now they're 4-11 and 6-9 against the spread. And, I don't know, turning back to Atlanta again.
All right. I'm reading here. It says Toronto is 4-4 on the road, but after Saturday's plays 13 of their next 19. So after Saturday, they play 13 of their next 19 games at home. Where the Raptors are 6-0, so you might want to look at that for the future. All right, San Antonio versus the New York Knicks. New York getting 2. So this game, initially, you look San Antonio, Knicks. San Antonio's been playing like shit. Knicks are always playing like crap. But, I mean, they're getting 2 at home. I don't really see that neither of these teams they're like the same team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Am I wrong with this?
No, I don't think you're wrong with it necessarily. I will say the Knicks are the better team right now. They've been playing better over the last probably ever since they had that whole thing where the coaches came out, or not the coaches, the general management had that stupid press conference and basically threw the team and the coach under the bus.
Right.
Ever since that moment, they've been playing way better. I mean, you just saw what they did with the Sixers game. I mean, they almost won that game outright. It was a 12.5-point spread, and it came down to the end.
Right. Now, is Derek White playing today?
I was actually looking to see. Give me just one quick second. I can tell you.
Okay.
He's questionable, which he was downgraded to out early yesterday, so maybe he does play.
I mean, he missed his second straight game on Friday. He had the day off. No, I guess he technically had a day off yesterday, but the Spurs played yesterday, got crushed by the Sixers. I don't know, man. I mean,
they're going to take a bus to New York after losing in Philly. It's an interesting spread. That was one of the ones I highlighted last night. I'm not saying I'm definitely betting this game, but I originally liked the Knicks +2. They're just playing better.
More inspired basketball. They're more inspired brand of basketball where the Spurs just seem depressed. Yeah,
it's not really the Popovich type teams I'm used to seeing. You don't really used to seeing them struggle the way they are. To lose 8 in a row like that, and it's kind of bizarre. But yeah, I mean, I would lean towards the team playing better right now at home, and they're getting 2. Am I correct?
Yeah, +2. And probably will get more because the initial money is on the Spurs, and public perception, you would immediately take the Spurs, especially if you're not paying attention to what's going on.
That's true. That is very true. I mean, New York is 8-7 against the spread, and the Spurs are 3-13. So if that tells you anything, I mean, for a team that's 4-11 to be over 500 against the spread, that's telling.
Sure. Now the one bright spot for San Antonio is DeMar DeRozan. This guy's averaging 32 points over his last 3 games, making 35 of 36 shots, or 56 shots. Sorry, not he wasn't 30.
That would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, 35 of 56. But I mean, that's the thing. So they got some scores, but this just shows you DeRozan can't do it all. Now Rudy Gay's trying to do a little bit too, but it's just not enough. And when that can be demoralizing as well. For those stars. And I like the Knicks here, and I think the Knicks could even win this game outright.
Agreed. I mean, it might be even worth sprinkling a little bit on the money line.
I would agree. All right, next up, the Miami Heat taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. This is going to be an Eastern Conference showdown here. This is going to be a really good game. And also, this is going to be the game that we do our contest on.
Yeah, this is the most compelling game on the board for me tonight, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that they're the Sixers and it's my team. It's the whole Jimmy Butler factor coming back to Philly after he was with the team last year, and they were going to sign him to the max, and then it didn't happen, and then the rumblings come out, because he's a bad teammate and he's always a problem, and which I don't actually believe was the case in this situation. He was not a bad teammate, actually, not here anyway. So. But that's the dynamic. You wait. If you have an opportunity to watch this game, I could see it getting gritty. And I am telling you, the Philadelphia fans are going to boo the shit out of him every moment they get. For good, bad, or no reason at all.
Classy fans over there, Philly. Classy fans.
That's it. That's what we do here.
Guys, guess the exact score of this game. Miami versus Philly. Right now, Philly is getting or laying 4 here. Guess the exact score. And here's the rules. And, nobody's won the contest yet.
Yeah.
So today it happens, Philly. I think today is the day it happens.
I think so too. And I just realized too, there's some dynamics. Josh Richardson, he played for Miami. That was the swap, and he sat out yesterday with a hip. I'll bet you he plays today. There ain't no way he's missing this game.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you got to be there to get that big win versus Philadelphia.
Well, yeah. Was he going to beat himself?
Yes.
He plays for the Sixers.
Yeah. Well, but they traded him over there, or they sent him over there. He's a double agent.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay, well, that's fair. Maybe Dion Waiters gave him some gummies while he's been out for his suspension.
Yeah. All right, the Heat have won the most recent meeting of these two teams after losing the previous 5. And Justin Winslow, man, this guy's still out with a concussion. What the hell is going on with him?
I don't know. He's been suffering headaches, they said, and I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Yeah, he's collecting a paycheck. That's what he's doing. 8 straight games with a concussion.
It's true.
So, I don't know. What do you think, man? This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a really good game.
I agree, totally. And it kind of scares me, this game, just a little bit, actually. It's only a two-basket game. Make cases for both sides. I mean, certainly Sixers being at home. I love, obviously, Joel Embiid's not on a load management situation. I know they're going to be up for this game, but, Miami's crawling under the radar a little bit, man. People are not really respecting them the way they should, and they're deep and they play D. And, you got the Jimmy Butler factor. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Miami wins the game, honestly, or at least covers in there.
Yeah, if Miami wins this game, they can't hide anymore.
That's true.
They're going to be legit. So, all right. So, guys, remember, guess the exact score of this game, and you win a week's worth of our premium selections. And there's the rules again. And then let's move on to the next game, Philly.
Yes, sir.
We got to probably run through these. We're running a little long. We got 4 more games. We got Portland versus Cleveland. Cleveland +5. I mean, shitty game, but, I mean, a lot of the money's coming in on Portland right away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing where you got, like, the perception of, the public looking at that and going, all right, well, it's got to be Portland. They're the better team. I mean, I don't know. Dame, I don't know if Dame's in or out. It doesn't really say. It says, I guess he's questionable again.
Yeah.
No, he's upgraded to probable on this.
Well, that's good.
So that's big. Hassan Whiteside, questionable, although he's questionable even when he's healthy, it's my opinion. Cleveland Cavaliers show no injuries.
Uh-huh.
Although, I don't know. I mean, Portland, I can't believe is as bad as they are. But, when you get desperate enough to sign Carmelo Anthony, who hasn't played basketball in 18 months, maybe there's just a sense of desperation there. And they're like, we got to get our shit together because they had a pretty good year last year.
Sure.
But you know what, man? I'm going out on a limb here. I think Cleveland maybe not wins the game, but I think the 5 they hang there. I think they cover that.
I'm bucking the trend, man. I think I think the Portland Trail Blazers get their shit together and they cover the spread because Dame Lillard's going to come in there and he scored 27 points in both games versus Cleveland last year.
Yeah.
And I think that it's gonna be a big boost to this team when he comes back. So
you're not wrong.
Give me Portland to cover the 5. LA Lakers, man, they struggled versus the OKC Thunder yesterday.
They did. That defense didn't show up the way it's been. They gave up a lot of points yesterday.
Now this line's kind of interesting. I think they're playing a Memphis team plus 7.5 at home, and we just Memphis is. They played tough at the beginning of the season. They're like some of these other teams that kind of surprise people. But man, I think LA just might be too much for these guys. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there. I mean, I don't know. I'm not showing anything with really any serious injuries with them. I don't know if the Lakers would use a game like today to do any kind of load management, like maybe keep Anthony Davis out just because he's been going through that little shoulder situation. And that would be something I'd monitor. But, I mean, this gives LA another opportunity to kind of correct what they won yesterday. They just didn't, I don't think, played. That was their worst defensive game I've seen of the entire year since I've been watching them. So, I mean, I might still lean LA, but I do think that's a pretty hefty line for sure. And Memphis is playing better. Ja Morant on that side. I don't see anything significant with injuries there.
Grayson Allen has an ankle. He said he could play today. Avery Bradley has missed 4 games straight with a leg injury.
Yep. Which, I mean, they've been doing all right without him. I mean, it's weird. Memphis is 5-9 overall and 5-9 against the spread. It's just kind of strange. But I think, this line might be tricking me. I mean, maybe it would be worth looking at Memphis on the other side. I'm going to look into this a little bit further. I mean, obviously it's early yet. We don't know exactly what the lineups are going to be. So I'm a little on the fence. What do you think?
I think if it's all the normal lineups, give me LA. I don't think there's any way that Memphis can handle or run with these boys, man. I'm telling you, the Lakers. So it's kind of like what I talked to you yesterday about. The 76ers. They almost lost to the Knicks, so it kind of refocuses them a little bit. It's probably one of the better things that happens. It's like, hey, they didn't take the L, but they also, it was enough to refocus. Well, I think that's the same thing that's going to happen here with LA and OKC. Then they come into Memphis. I think they just get the job done and move on.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
All right, Bucks versus Pistons, man. Bucks have been rolling lately. This is minus 12. Good Lord, minus 12 for Bucks.
Yeah. They always get these double-digit sort of spreads, and I mean, as good as they are, it's not easy to cover them constantly. Man, they didn't cover the last one they just had. I think it was 13, and it did not cover. Covered the first half, but it didn't cover the full game.
A little backdoor cover there.
A little, but that's all it takes, right? That's all you need. I don't know, man. I mean, is Blake in? That's going to mean something to me, certainly. Sure. I mean, let's just say if Detroit's got their guys in, Blake's playing, Andre Drummond's playing. The Pistons are playing a little bit better. They're 6-4. The over/under 6-4 in their last 10. They're 5-10 overall, but they've been playing better since Blake's gotten back in the lineup. So,
right.
I don't. 12 points is a lot, man, and I might possibly look at Detroit plus the points, but I would like to at least see more of the injury report before I would confirm that.
Yeah, I lean Detroit here to cover the spread or play within the number. Similar to what happened last game, they could get Detroit can go on runs, man, and just like I guess any team, but and we know Detroit can also hit that 3 ball. So give me Detroit to stay within the number. All right, last and final game, we got the Pels traveling to Utah to play the Jazz. Jazz laying 8 at home.
Yep.
Jazz 3-7 in their last 10 against the spread. the Pelicans 6-4 in their last 10 against the spread. -8, man. That's a hell of a number there.
Yeah, I was looking at this game last night. It was actually one of the ones I kind of targeted in my own head. The Pelicans are playing better. They're not as bad as their record is. I made that prediction that I thought they could be a cusp fringe playoff team by all said and done. They're getting healthier. That's key to them. Drew Holiday, who had an awful start to the season, is starting to pick up where he's a very important piece. And Brandon Ingram has got a chance to be maybe most improved player this year.
Right.
He's really a go-to guy. And then you got JJ, who's hitting threes, and they actually played better defense the last game, which is another reason why I'm starting to see that change. I think.
Right.
I mean, Favors I'm showing is downgraded to out, but they got the young kid Jackson who comes in, and I think Jackson Hayes is his name, I believe, 19-year-old who's playing well. Okafor is listed as questionable. Nothing on the Utah side. This is a tale of team that likes to play fast and likes to score a lot. And Utah likes to slow it down a little bit more. It's kind of interesting.
It's like one of those fire and ice kind of things, you know.
It is. But I think 8 is too much for the Pelicans, frankly. I like them plus the points. I think they're gonna be there with it, dude.
I totally agree with you, man. I think the Pels stay within the number. I think this is going to be a good game. I think this is the Pels are on an upswing right now. I feel good about them, and it's just not because of how they played versus the Suns. Just I feel like they're just playing well overall. You know, and I think that they come into the Utah and play within that number, man. So
I got one small question for you about that. Do you have the perception that you hop on this at 8, or there's going to be more money that comes in on Utah and this line gets better and you like the Pelicans?
I think this number gets worse probably.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I'm showing 60% of the money is on Utah. So that means 40% of the money is on the Pels. So this number is probably going to sit still, but if it did move, I'd say maybe it goes to 7.5.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. Yeah, that might not be bad.
And this total is 222.5, and I think initially people might think that's too high, but actually I think that's not too low. I just think that this game will probably go over. Pelicans like to run and gun, man, and both teams have 3-point shot shooters between Joe Ingles and JJ Ridiculous, and Brandon Ingram could even hit the 3. So this game, man, my eyes are definitely focused on this game.
I agree. This is one I'm targeting. Yep.
All right. So that'll do it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you guys watching on a Saturday. Good luck to everybody in all their bets today. Please play responsible. Don't throw the bankroll on, the 76ers or anything like that. Just, be easy, man. It's a long term. it's a long term fight, guys. We're not making millions in one day, but we're gonna make millions over the course. So. If we blow all our money today, we're not going to have any money tomorrow, right?
It's the truth, man. It's the biggest. I mean, it's one of the biggest things to this. If you have a bad day, games you bet and they just don't work out in your favor. There's always tomorrow. You don't want to tilt your whole entire bankroll away in one day. It just doesn't make any sense. So just keep that in mind. It's a very fair point what you're making, and I agree wholeheartedly with it. Yeah.
Stay away from them parlays, and parlays are like strippers. You're like, what? Parlays are like strippers,
they're beautiful,
man.
Or they're sexy. Well, what does that even mean?
You never heard me tell you this story? Parlays are like strippers, man. They look good. They tell you that you're the best thing in the world. They tell you you're gonna, you're doing all the right things in your life, and then they leave you.
They don't fuck you in the end.
Yeah, and they leave you broke is what happens. So I don't know this from personal experience. It probably sounds like I'm bitter, but
yeah. I bet you walk into the local strip joint, they're like, "Hey, Jared, welcome back."
Oh, I missed you, baby. 5 minutes later, I'm broke.
Like Norm from Cheers walking in.
All right, guys, we're done. Philly, I'll see you maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, you want to do a Sunday show too?
I mean,
7 days a week.
Why the hell not? So
we could do it.
Hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button if you're still here. I really appreciate it. 29 minutes. Let's get out of here. Good luck to you. Good luck to me. Good luck to everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a wonderful Saturday, guys. Peace.